Rafael Nadal might be 36, but there is still some fight left in this Mallorcan. So what has he done now that shocked his fans? And how will he continue to be the greatest player despite a new generation of stunning talent? Plus, which group of athletes are accusing Nadal of doping? Stay tuned for all of that and more coming right up. First, just how good is Rafa Nadal? Rafael Nadal's level of play this year was unbelievable. He did have some mixed results, but more than anything, he claimed 2 Grand Slams, the Australian Open and the French Open. He now has the men's record for 22 Grand Slams, and the 36-year-old pulled off some incredible comebacks too. In fact, he seems to thrive off of the pressure. At the Australian Open final, when he was fighting to match the 21 Grand Slam record, he came back from 2 sets down against Daniil Medvedev to win a 5-hour marathon. Plenty of players would have thrown in the towel, lost focus, or lost their cool. But Nadal put his head down and got the job done, despite the odds being enormously against him. But if you ask Nadal about his determination, he is humble. In an interview with Esquire, he said, "I don't consider myself an unbreakable man. We all give in and break sometimes. That allows us to get stronger in the next attack." It's nice to know that he's human, just like the rest of us, but it certainly doesn't feel like it sometimes. Rafa has made history in more than one way this year too. He has proven to be one of the most consistent players of all time. The last week of December marked the 900th week that Rafa has spent in the top 10 at the ATP rankings. And incredibly, more than 20% of those have been at world number 1. Since he broke into the top 10 at 18 years old back in 2005, he hasn't moved. You could say that he peaked as a teenager, but that peak still hasn't ended 18 years later. What does his recent change of coach mean? To stay at the top, Rafael Nadal employs a team of specialists, and there's no one more important than his coach. Throughout his whole career, that has been one man, Francisco Roig. For the last few years, Roig has been working with different players on a casual basis, but now will be the full-time coach of Sloane Stephens. Nadal confirmed the news, describing Roig's new gig as a personal project. Nadal also said, "When we started working together, I was a kid, and along with my uncle Tony, we started at the track. I only have words of thanks and wish him all the luck in the world." The timing looks to be a little inconvenient for the world number 2. He is currently preparing for the upcoming Australian Open, which will kick off the 2023 calendar year. With longtime rival Roger Federer retiring, Nadal and Novak Djokovic are 2 of the big 3 left standing in the way of the new generation. Young superstar Carlos Alcaraz will continue to carry the torch for Spain and has already rocketed his way to world number 1. Alongside him are the likes of Jannik Sinner and Casper Ruud, giving tennis a bright future. Nadal may be sensing that he needs to update his tactics to fit with this new wave. So, who will be stepping up to replace Roig? That's going to be Gustavo Maracchio, who has been working with the Rafa Nadal Academy since last year. Maracchio has a good track record. He earned the respect of Nadal by shooting his friend Juan Monaco into the top 10 back in 2012. Next, who has accused Rafa of cheating? Nadal's career has been plagued by injury more than almost any other player. His constant problems with his back and foot have caused him to sit out of tournaments and interrupted his career. So how does he find the strength to keep going? Some people think that he might be getting an unfair advantage. During his French Open victory run, he admitted to the media that he has been receiving constant injections, and it didn't take long for accusations to come flooding in. Surprisingly, some are from different sports. There have been accusations throughout Nadal's career, especially because of his big muscular body shape, but this time they were a little more specific. 2 French cyclists, Guillaume Martin and Thibaut Pinot, directly accused Nadal of doping and said that the same practice would not be allowed in cycling. Doping expert Fritz Sorgel has said that tennis is in the top 4 of doping and that players were only caught when they miscalculated the time that they would be clean again in a test. He also said that Nadal has shown some abnormalities in the past for how quickly he has regenerated. Now, after top players like Fernando Verdasco were recently banned for taking illegal substances, the spotlight has once again shone on Nadal. Former player Arnaud Clement has said that he has absolutely no doubts about the ethics of Rafa. Nadal has never tested positive for a banned substance, and he doesn't take accusations lightly. In 2016, he sued a French minister who accused him of doping. Up next, what's the one part of his legacy that Nadal cares about? And how did he shock fans by breaking another record without even trying? So don't go anywhere. What's the most important thing for Nadal's legacy? With greatness will always come accusations of foul play, and Nadal has proven to be a big target for criticism. It comes with the territory, but Nadal has written his name into the history books and earned the title greatest of all time, according to many. But Rafa himself cares more about how he is remembered rather than breaking all of the records. The King of Clay, who has won an incredible 14 French Open titles and has achieved anything and everything possible in tennis. He even won the gold medal at the 2008 Olympic Games, so there's no lack of trophies for him to point to. But for Rafa, it's more about respect when it comes to his place in the sport. He said, "The important legacy is that all the people I have met during these 20 years of my career have a good human memory of me. He certainly achieved believe that already. It's hard to find a player who has a bad thing to say about Nadal's attitude, either on or off the court. Players have described the feeling of beating Nadal as like a drug. That's how special he is. When Roger Federer officially retired at the Laver Cup, images of the longtime rivals holding hands and crying went viral. They are two of the most respected and loved characters in tennis. Rafa is also active in supporting up-and-coming players through his Rafa Nadal Academy, which has branches in Mallorca, Greece, and Kuwait. Nadal offers young players the same techniques and methods that helped him achieve greatness. Now, Carlos Alcaraz is poised to overtake Nadal. Already world number 1 at just 19 years old, Carlos Alcaraz won the US Open to make himself officially the best player in the world. And Rafael Nadal thinks that this is only the beginning for Alcaraz. He said, "There has always been a generational change, but now someone very special has arrived." Rafa said that in Spain, his generation included players like Pablo Carrano Busto and Roberto Bautista Agut, but now the next is ready to step up and take their place. Nadal is happy to see someone else pick up the torch and continue making Spanish tennis proud. He is happy that despite not having many resources for tennis in the country, young people are still finding a way to achieve great things and break through onto the world stage. The two have faced each other professionally 3 times, with Nadal coming out on top in 2 of them. Astonishingly though, Alcaraz beat Nadal on clay. Between 2005 and 2007, Nadal had an 81-match winning streak on clay. According to Rafa, Alcaraz is destined to write his name into the sport as one of the best in history. Already as a teenager, he's winning majors. Alcaraz is officially the youngest man to achieve world number 1 in the ATP rankings. But like his hero Rafael Nadal, there are some early signs that he might be battling injuries throughout his career. He couldn't compete in the ATP finals because of abdominal problems. And the Mubadala World Tennis Championship in Abu Dhabi, he looked slow and out of form when he lost to Casper Ruud. Luckily, it was only an exhibition match, but it's not a good sign at such an early stage in his career. Hopefully, Alcaraz can get on top of his injuries and live up to the expectations Rafael Nadal has for him. Which world number 1 did Nadal just claim? It's not just on the court that Rafa breaks records. On a social media account, he recently passed another major milestone, which has shocked fans. Nadal might not be as active on social media as the younger generation, but that doesn't mean he isn't the center of attention. Any player would kill to have the kind of online reach that players like Nadal or Federer have. But Nadal sits at number 1 in this contest. Federer may have been the most marketable athlete, but Nadal has now become the most popular. Well, at least on Instagram. This year's performances and his historic achievements have helped launch him to new heights. Nadal became the first male tennis player to earn 17 million Instagram followers. He mostly posts pictures of his tennis life, but took a break to congratulate Lionel Messi and Argentina for their World Cup win. He told the team, "Enjoy it, champions." Nadal is no stranger to football. He was captured celebrating Spain's World Cup win in 2010. And during his trip to South America for a series of exhibition matches against Casper Ruud, the Spaniard posted a clip of the two of them playing football at 2 a.m. in an airport. He titled the video, "Pre-check-in at the airport, football World Cup mood." Well, at least they are enjoying themselves on tour. Hopefully, it is good preparation for Nadal though, who is hoping to come back stronger in 2023 after fizzling out of form in the second part of 2022. Do you think that Nadal is the greatest of all time? And has he had one of the biggest comebacks ever seen? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again in the next one.